What's up, guys? It's Bar Exam. I'm your host, Allie Rayner, and I'm here with my amazing crew. I have Eric G in the room and Mr. Marcus TV. Say hi, guys.
Yo, what up, what up, what up?
Hello. What's up, y'all?
So, this week we have something very fun in store for you guys. So, what is like one of the best pastimes of hip hop and rap? Beefing, of course. There's always going to be some rap beef between different artists. So we decided to take an inside look into it and highlight some of our favorite rap beefs. So I'll start it off for you guys. And coming before the bar is going to be what I think. I'm going to bring two songs actually. So I'm going to bring up Eminem and MGK's rap beef to the bar, and their songs "Not Alike" and well, that is actually Eminem's song "Not Alike," and MGK's, I want to say his was "Rap Devil." So the beef started all the way back in 2012. It kind of came out of left field. Apparently, MGK had sent out this tweet saying that Eminem's daughter Haley was hot as fuck. It was super inappropriate because Haley was like 16 at the time. But honestly, I didn't think that, at the time, many people really didn't say anything about it, not even Eminem himself. And then fast forward to like 2015, MGK is kind of like making these subliminal shots at Eminem, saying like he's basically been blackballed by the rapper. And it really didn't seem to go anywhere from there. Then in 2018, all of a sudden, MGK decides to drop a song with Tech Nine, and it's called No Reason. And basically, he like includes some lines that people kind of felt like were a shot at Slim Shady. So he basically said like popped in on top charts out the cop car to remind y'all you just rap, you're not God. So a lot of people will say that like Eminem is rap god. I think he even had like either a single or an album named Rap God. So that's why people kind of were thinking like it has to be about M. So anyway, so at that time, Eminem finally decided to break his silence and he decided to actually say something back. And he dropped this diss record with Royce. And it's called Not Alike in 2018, like August of 2018. It was a few months later. And basically, like M all of a sudden just got everything off his chest. He decided to go straight in, and he decided he wasn't going to do subliminals at all. He called out MGK right off the bat, and he goes, "Now you want to come and fuck with me, huh? This little cocksucker, he must be feeling himself. He wants to keep up his tough demeanor." So he does a feature, decides to team up with Nina. But next time you don't gotta use Tech 9. If you want to come at me with a submachine gun and I'm talking to you and you already know who the fuck you are, Kelly, I don't use sublims and sure as fuck don't sneak diss. But keep commenting on my daughter Haley. And like from there, it got even more intense. And he basically is telling like Machine Gun Kelly, like, you're not no shooter, you're not a gunner, like you think you're a thug, but you're not. He just went the fuck in. He said a lot, like I said. But my favorite line from the entire song from Eminem was when he says, "We can get it popping like Redenbach, letting off like Remy Ma." I was like, damn, like M's definitely coming for your fucking throat. I felt like Remy Ma was probably someone in the world like, I don't know how the fuck I got into this, but I got mentioned by fucking Eminem. Like, I'm also the GOAT now. So that shit, they went off on that. Like, people went crazy on it. Nobody expected Eminem to finally, like, open up and say something because he's so nonchalant, so chill, most of the time. And then so MGK responded back. And he responded back with a song called with Rap Devil. He responds with a song called Rap Devil, and he says a whole lot, but he basically is saying that he always knew that Eminem blackballed him. And so straight off, he gets into it and he goes, what does he say? He says, "Mad about something I said in 2012. Took you 6 years and a surprise album just to come with a diss." Which, I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, he's right about that. But, nonetheless, he decided to keep going even after that. And he says that he basically says, homie, we get it. We know that you're the greatest rapper alive. Fucking dweeb. All you do is read the dictionary and stay inside. And yeah, I mean, he goes even further into like saying that let's call Sway, ask why I can't get on Shade 45 because of you. Let's ask Interscope how you had Paul Rosenberg trying to shelf me. Still can't cover up the fact your last 4 albums is as bad as your selfie. And he just goes, he mentions Puff and all of that. He mentions a whole bunch of people in here. So out of the whole this record from MGK, my favorite line personally was when he says, yeah, I'll acknowledge you're the GOAT, but I'm the gunner, bitch. I got you in the scope. I was like, okay, you know what? Okay, you doing kind of okay. You know, I feel like he really tried to come with the bars. I feel like he really tried to come with the production of the song more than M did. To be honest, for me, it felt like M's version was kind of more of like a street album, like a EP almost. Like maybe it could have been on a mixtape or something. Whereas like MGK's, you kind of felt like he put some time into this, a little bit of production. So after hearing that whole rundown, fellas, what do you think? What did you think about when you first heard about this rap beef and when you heard these songs?
First of all, like we have to go through the pillar, like the white rapper, you know,
Okay.
at a
The
time,
white rapper pillar,
at a
like
time,
the tier list.
yeah, at a time when Eminem, like in 3 6 months, like early Eminem, like when he dropped on MTV, you know, there was another 3 6 Mafia rapper named Lil White. There was
Yep.
Bubba Sparks. There was shit.
Paul Wall.
Paul Wall, Grills, and I think it was one more white rapper, uh, who all were kind of in this lane of white boys who rap, but not necessarily beefing with them with each other, you know.
Yeah.
And at a time, there was an argument in and I mean barbershop argument that Lil White from 3 6 Mafia was better than Eminem. Now, here it is, 2023. Most people don't even know who the fuck Lil White is. We've
Right.
all acknowledged Eminem as the GOAT, as this, as so. Kid Rock was the other one. That's what it was. Ball with a ball.
Kid Rock. That's
Yeah,
right.
because he crossed up just with the "My name is Kid," you know, with the little midget and shit, and then he had that's what. But there was an argument. The argument was made like, who's the best white rapper? You know, it was literally debatable then.
Right.
It was.
Eminem now is such at a top tier status. It's not debatable. So who is MGK? Dude is weird as fuck.
He's a Cleveland rapper. Well, he claims that he's a Cleveland native. Some people say that that's cap, that he just wants like street cred or whatever. I'm actually from Cleveland, and even people that I know
I
from there are
wouldn't say
like,
that about him now. Not
right.
now. Maybe when he first
He's
came out,
changed
but
completely.
not now. He's like a pop. He's a complete pop star now.
Exactly. It's kind of crazy because during this time, you know, he actually was a rapper. He was trying to have that persona of like, I'm a thug, I'm a gangster, you know? So when this song kind of dropped, he wasn't doing the rock pop kind of crossover that he's doing now. So, I mean, he had a little bit more credibility, but I don't think that anybody was afraid of MGK, like in the least bit. And so I think it was kind of interesting that he decided to take shots at Eminem. Granted, I guess he felt like he was offending himself. But at least back then, he was an actual rapper. Now, yeah, he's doing this crossover. I feel like he's a rocker now. I think that he's kind of like hung up the whole rap thing. And like, I think Marcus even mentioned that this might have been the reason that people don't talk about MGK anymore. Like, I feel like a lot of people felt as though he might have taken an L on this one. So that's why I thought it was kind of interesting. You know, he is around, but he's not in the rap game after this whole thing happened. I feel like I really didn't hear anything about him. Do you guys feel the same way? What do you think? Did it really affect his career?
Well, the last point, because you said it in one of the bars, is that he got blackballed. You said we can call Sway and ask
Yeah.
him why I can't get on Shade 4 or 5.
Yeah. He even mentions Puff and everything.
It doesn't fucking matter. What's the name of the station? Shade 4 or 5. It's named after fucking Shady. That's why. Nigga, at one time Shade 4 or 5 wasn't playing G Unit, and we're gonna get into all that. Like, no. That it's if you had a beef with Eminem, you weren't getting on fucking serious. Like, that was just
Really?
come on. Yeah.
Also, let's keep it all the way real. If you're shooting up and trying to diss Jack Harlow right now as MGK,
Oh wow.
I don't care how good that diss is. You're shooting above your tax bracket right now. Jack Harlow is a household name at this point now.
And wait till White Man Can't Jump come out.
Man.
Wait till White Man Can't Jump comes out. Jack Harlow, this is gonna be disrespectful because we're not taking it seriously, but they will say that Jack Harlow is the next Eminem.
You think so?
They're gonna put him in some category.
People fuck with Jack Harlow.
They fuck with Jack
They
Harlow,
do.
but they're gonna put him somewhere where he doesn't belong because of this sitcom. And I mean, does Jack Harlow make good music? Yes.
Mhm.
Is Jack Harlow iconic? No. And there are plenty of people who make good music who aren't iconic. And guess what? That's okay. You don't have to be the best. He's not the wacky. I mean, he's not Logic, who I think should hang it up.
Why do
So,
you
I
think
mean-
Logic should hang it up?
What?
I'm surprised. I was gonna say Logic. I feel like actually has, or at least used to have, really good bars. I used to actually really enjoy listening to Logic. Not, I haven't listened to a
After
whole
that,
lot of shit.
I like Logic's like 2 first mixtapes. After that, I fell off.
Right.
Yeah,
So
after that Ice Cube shit, nah, bro.
What Ice
No.
Cube shit? Fill us in.
Oh man, he made a flip off of what was it? Today was a good day.
Today was a good day.
Yeah.
Oh no.
And it not only was it a bomb, it was a bomb. It was so shit. It was terrible. Like,
It was not. It was no.
It wasn't
like
worth it.
I'm not even mad at Logic. I'm not mad at Logic for coming up with the bars, for him writing it down. I'm not mad at him going into the studio. I'm mad at whoever he called up
And approved it.
and said sat in front of the bar, like in front of the board,
And said, yes, this is good.
No, he didn't even have to say yes because he got paid. I'm more mad at him for clicking file and save as. Because right there, you had an opportunity in a moment to save us, and yet you click file, save as, and then you typed in these key, and like you could have did us all a service and just been like, nah, bro, that ain't it.
Right.
I agree.
That's crazy. But anyway, so let's circle back to the original conversation, the rap beef between MGK and Eminem. So I think that I went through all of this. I went through all the lyrics and stuff like that to ask you guys ultimately, who do you think won out of this rap beef? Do you think, like, who had the better bars? And then who do you think in the end truly was the winner?
Oh, Eminem, no question.
Really? Like bars or overall?
Overall.
But
Really?
yeah,
Why do you say
Yeah,
that?
overall. Yeah. Here's the thing. MGK had a really good diss song.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, I won't even say diss song. He had a really good song dissing Eminem.
Right.
That's what I'm
surprisingly.
The song itself was good. And he had some good jabs in there. And it was one of the more, like, if we're looking at this in, like, fight terms,
Mm-hmm.
this was one of the more formidable fights put up against Eminem.
Right.
However, Eminem is like Tyson in this shit.
he reminded you of who the fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
This
like-
was his Pusha T moment.
You think so? Really?
This was Eminem's Pusha T moment. Because yes,
people at this point were waiting on him to like kind of show that like he still had it.
Yeah.
Or show that he could still go out there on the extra mile.
So, Eric,
and I mean, Because, I mean, you got to think about it. That MGK just kind of came out of nowhere.
Actually,
Like, even
Eric,
him
help me
dissing
understand too
Eminem's
on the
daughter and
timeline.
all that, like, all that shit kind of came out of nowhere.
Help me on
It
the
was a reach.
timeline. Didn't Nick Cannon diss Eminem too around this same time?
Yep.
Did he
And,
really?
and clearly Eminem didn't respond to Nick Cannon, so he responded to MGK, if I'm not mistaken.
This was around the time that it was, like, fun to make fun of Eminem, quote unquote, until Eminem had to remind motherfuckers of who he was.
Yes.
Got you.
So,
I mean, at least, like you guys said, at least he stood his ground. He put him back in his place. But I will say, I was just surprised that of the production and like of the song itself. I felt like the best part was Eminem's part of the song. But I don't know, for some reason I was just like, I feel like it's missing, like Eric was saying, I wish that it was more of an actual song that just so happened to be a diss record, you know, that you could actually listen to. Whereas like it was definitely like shots were fired. He definitely had the lines in there, but this isn't something you're writing around to.
So
well,
that's because you were spoiled. And I'm
yeah.
gonna say you were spoiled by Drake because back to back is still get played in the club.
That's true.
Like and we know it's a diss record, but it's still a song. Like, oh, I can fuck
Yeah,
with you.
yeah.
So you're spoiled. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, I can say that like I think I don't think that he did a bad job at all, but I think you're right. I think it's just like not I might be a little bit spoiled, but I have to say that I'm actually surprised like I think M went there, but I kind of wondered if like he didn't have as much ammo rather than tell him that like you know you're a wannabe thug. Other than that, just because like I think of other like iconic diss records that I'm like, bro, you got obliterated. Like Remy Ma's diss record to Nicki Minaj. Like for 4 fucking minutes, she just or 6 minutes or something like that, she just goes in on her. She had all this dirt on her. You know what I mean? So I felt like Eminem gave that energy. He didn't have as much ammo to actually shoot. You know what I mean? So I kind of just wish it had a little bit more. But you know, maybe he's just not a gossiper. Maybe he's just like, I just wanted to put the dude in his place, you know. And clearly, MGK was very much bothered. Like, bro, like had to get a lot off his chest talking about. Let's talk about you called Interscope and Paul and Diddy and Jimmy and Shay 45. Like
You got to remember
had
around
it.
this time, MGK was still signed to Diddy. He was still on Bad Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
that was
he
like
really felt some way because it
a
really
real
affected his
conflict of
career.
interest. Because you got to think, MGK was like super hot for being super hot for a white boy rapper around this time.
Yeah.
And one of your hottest artists is now dissing one of the top guys who, let's face it, Diddy and M, you know they have a behind the scenes, some type of bond. So it's like,
Right.
oh, one of your number one artists is now dissing me. Yeah, I can see where that could cause a little conflict of interest.
Yeah, I mean, Machine Gun Kelly said like he said they conference called me in the morning. They told me you mad about a tweet. You wanted me to say sorry. So like, yeah, like I don't
So,
think it's really all in his head. He definitely was probably blackballed, but it was kind of his own fault. Like it was a weird tweet. Like let's not forget that it was a bit out
Yeah.
of left field. So
also, who is an MGK fan? Do you personally
mainly
know any?
people from
People
Cleveland.
from Ohio.
Yeah,
Right.
like
People from
mainly.
Cleveland.
So, but meanwhile, we all know Eminem fans. So I think
Right.
Eminem's fan base knows of MGK, whereas MGK's fan base is aware of Eminem because clearly he's iconic, but
Right.
they don't share fans.
Yeah,
Everybody
definitely
knows
not.
Eminem. If you have, like my mom knows Eminem. You know, you
Right.
have
She
to know
probably doesn't
Eminem.
know no damn MGK.
Yeah, she doesn't know who the fuck MGK is.
Yeah.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
And
So
then
you're right.
and then when they say who's MGK and then you say Machine Gun Kelly, that sounds even crazier.
Yeah.
True. That's very true. So yeah, I think overall, I think that I agree with you guys that like M definitely brought it. I will say production wise, I think MGK did a better job. but diss record wise and just obliterating somebody's rap career, I think Eminem wins this one. So that's my rap beef take. So what about you guys? What did you guys decide to pick?
All right. Well, I mean, me and Marcus kind of are gonna do a little tag team, and talk about one beef that I feel like kind of deserves a tag team back and forth, and that is the beef between the Game and 50 Cent. And this is just how I'm gonna start it out personally, and we'll just go from there. My mom took me to Sam Goody. I wanted to buy a 50 Cent CD. I took that shit home. That shit was whack like a motherfucker. I fuck with Game. I like 50 Cent. He reminds me of SpongeBob. And Tony Yayo is Blue's Clues. And Lloyd Banks is Dora the Explorer. They're my friends.
Yeah.
Like,
So this dude is hilarious. Call it what it is, man. This is the greatest rap beef since Biggie and Tupac East versus West.
it was.
It was the biggest, and it intentionally struck, like they played it as East versus West too. Like
Yeah.
you, and at the time, remember we were all younger. So bars really meant something. People really lived what they were. If you saw it on Yo MTV Raps, or if you saw it in the basement, it could really happen. I believed one of them was going to die when he
No
came out.
way.
When G-Unit, when he was going around with the billboards, like G-Unit and Gang, like I thought one of them, if not, because you got to remember, 50 came in the game with they shot him 9 times. So if you clearly know you need more than 9 to take him out, so like I just knew this beef was going to end in death.
let me take you back to when I was like 7 or 8, something like that, maybe 9. Didn't understand shit for shit. Didn't understand what like real beef was, like what real adult grown men problems were about. Didn't understand any of that. Just heard music and I liked it. Heard 2 people together and I liked them. I heard 50 and Game on Hate It or Love It, and In the Club, and well, not In the Club, but This Is How We Do, like all these songs that they made together. Higher, that 50 basically wrote for the Game on the chorus, like all that type of shit. Heard all that and was like, oh, I love these 2 guys together. And to find out as a little kid that these guys were beefing, like basically was like, it was like the equivalent of like a white boy finding out back in the day that like the Backstreet Boys is breaking up. That like they got real beef. Swear to God. I swear to God. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. When you remember that fake, you guys remember that fake out when 50 and Game like shook hands on stage and was like, oh yeah, we're squashing the beef. And then like 3 weeks later, Game came out with the G-Unit mixtape. And I was just like, oh, it was all a lie.
That sounds just like
they
you,
weren't
though.
sincere.
Yeah.
They were.
It sounds like the beef is not going to be
faking
done.
it.
Like they're the type that'll just keep beefs going until they are like, I'm at peace with it. But like until fucking then, I'm riding this shit till the wheels fall off. Because it seems like this has been going on for years, right? Like I think they might have just squashed it in like 2022 or some shit. 21.
I feel like they just got over it because they're now grown and they finally somewhat got over their petty. But here's the problem. Game and 50 are both very petty ass niggas. Yes. So especially with them 2 proving that they want to be the best out of like their like perspective, they're never really gonna let that beef go, even if they really do let it go. If okay, let's think about this in like anime terms. If this were Goku and Vegeta, same thing. In Dragon Ball Z, Goku and Vegeta constantly button heads like this. Always button heads like this. No matter what. Goku is always a little bit better than Vegeta, and Vegeta always wants to prove himself, and that back and forth
So
struggle goes and forth all the time. And it's the
who is
same
who?
thing with 50 and Game. 50 always wanted to prove he was the best out of his coast. Game always wanted to prove he was the best out of his coast.
Mhm.
And throughout their both of their careers, not only have they both broken molds as far as rap careers, but they've also broken molds as far as media careers. They're both in movies, they're both on TV, like they both have books. They're doing all this other type of shit. So I'm sure after all of these years, there is still some type of competition between them two because you got to think at the time when 50 scooped up Game, nobody else on the West was repping the West Coast like Game was.
Nobody.
Nobody, not even
Nobody.
you could. I won't even say Snoop because Snoop at that point was like already solidified as a legend. But besides that, nobody else on the West Coast was repping the West Coast like Game was.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Game
you gotta put respect on that. You have to.
Game put West Coast back on the map. And you know, there are people who will say, "Oh, West Coast was never off the map," unless you were an E40 fan in the Bay Area, a Too Short fan. Like the West Coast was not who you were checking for. There was they and you had to live out there to actually understand. And this is the only person to bring the West back post this era. Even I'll give you Kendrick for because I have to mention Kendrick, but like you have to because you can't just negate Kendrick. But
Right.
I'm gonna say Nipsey was bigger than Kendrick in terms of iconic West Coast, and it's hard to say if that was before or after his death. Like I really can't. I can't really because every time you see everything, oh, Nipsey was West Coast to the T to the
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And actually, like Game put him on too. Actually,
you
so
know, and
it
let's
I
still all
agree.
ties in.
Yeah.
so how did 50 Cent become such a quote unquote winner? He flipped the Coca-Cola money with his
Vitamin
energy
water.
drink with vitamin water, right?
Yeah.
That was after then there's a different 50 cents. So if let's just say Game and 50 Cent both for whatever reason had to split the vitamin water money, right?
Mm.
They like what Eric said, they are the same iconic type of person. You don't think Game would be as petty as 50 Cent is on the internet and tweeting if he
Oh,
had,
he still is.
but
Oh
that
yeah.
so like,
Also, I don't mean to. Sorry, I don't mean to. I didn't mean to cut you off. I
no, you
just
good.
had to because we were talking about gaming, because we were talking about 300 bars and running. In case anybody doesn't know, Game was not just shooting at 50 on this. He was kind of playing around, having fun with bars with other people, and also lightly taking shots and just flexing his lyrical muscles.
Mhm.
And I just and here's the thing. Okay, so I'm saying if you're gonna retire, then hand me the crown. Nah, let Bleak do it. Throw him a concert in Madison Square. Watch everybody sleep through it. We can go bar for bar. I'll let the lines speak to him. What they say, Bleak is over. Let Chris and Neef do it. They say the wrong thing. I'ma smack them silly. What you thought? Them was the only niggas that rapped in Philly. See them niggas with Sonny's leave with you have rapped in Philly. Them dash in groups like Beanie Mac in Philly. Cosmic Kev called Curtis Jack in Philly. Make a U-turn. I gotta go back to Philly. I forgot my cheesesteak. That's what I told the cops. So they told me get the dogs start till 50 told them to get me got shot. It's like, man,
Coming for everybody.
he's letting it shoot at everybody while also shooting at 50. What's
Yeah.
beef? Beef is when I murk you on the spot, label signing anything, still searching for you like they searching for Pac. Like Game was going crazy on 300 bars. And like the crazy thing about 300 bars was that like there were no breaks in that shit.
Mhm.
None.
None at all.
None.
absolutely none. Like, I don't know what possessed Game to go in there, and I don't know
And it had a
how
radio
many
edit.
takes it took him to actually do that, or if that was a one take. If that was a one take, that's the best one take in rap history. I don't care what anybody says. I'm pretty sure. Come on, man.
Did
Yeah.
he did it? I really want to know that now. Like, I really, that's kind of like, I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole and watch a whole bunch of interviews to see if Game really did that in one take. Because if he did, that might solidify him top 3. If it was one take, he's
We'll see.
still
I
top
don't
5.
doubt though. He seems like
If
the type
he's
to be
still,
like super
he's top
particular
10
about
right
stuff.
now. But I feel like if he did it in one take, I could easily give him number 3.
Wow. That's high praise. That's
If
really high
he
praise. But I don't blame you though.
did 300 bars in one take, Game is the of all time diss record, and it's like that's a gatekeeper position to say top 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that's
he
real
could.
shit. But
For
I
sure.
think that I really liked this one too because like you already said, I just feel like he's one of those rappers who stands on it, and he's like so like I'm gonna just name everybody. I got beef with all of you motherfuckers, and if all of you guys want to hit me up at the same time, it's whatever. You know, he's just such a. I feel like he gave such legitimacy back to like West Coast rap and like somebody who doesn't just rap about it, but I feel like he's a nigga. Like if you
Yes.
see him in the club, you're getting your ass stomped. You know what I mean? Like if he mentioned you in a fucking bar in a fucking song, you're fucked. Like you better not see that nigga around. Whereas like I feel like 50 might not come with that type of energy. I mean, don't get me wrong. I know 50 will come for your pockets, but I don't know if 50's a type to be like, I'm calling out you and 10 of the niggas that you fuck with. You know what I mean? Like normally it's just I'm calling out you. So I love the rap beef, but I think that Game makes it a whole nother level of like this dude is really about that fucking life. So you better be careful. Now, what was the song that you chose for 50 though for his diss?
So 50 had I'm so disrespectful, and when he came out with like you already know in the first verse he said,
The name alone.
yeah, like your daddy fucked your mama, then fucked your sister. You climbed in your bed playing with your shitter. Go ahead, take the bed off and hang yourself. Matter of fact, grab the strap and bang yourself. Jay's a big man. He's too big to respond. I'm a big dick. You know everybody on. You make me sing Murder Was the Case, bullets ricochet, ping pong, shoot the star off your face. First of all, shoot the star off your face is only funny because it was a heart that he got covered up from that dating
Oh
stuff.
yeah, I remember
Everyone,
that. I
Like,
remember
everyone
that.
comments about that. I swear to God,
I
anytime he's
remember that.
ever mentioned, I feel like people around me are always like, remember the whatever he had on
like,
his face.
fit and
People
this
can't
is
help but say it.
Yo, he tried to make that shit sound like symbolic and shit, and like nobody was buying that.
no,
Everyone was like, "Fuck out of here."
like, and you gotta understand, 50 at this time, 50 came up dissing people and saying names, but when 50 kind of got on, like Get Rich or Die Trying, in the mixtape 50, he really wasn't. It was like Will Come and Sweat. Like it was never names dropped. That Games dropped names ever since he was the Game. Shit, nigga,
Yeah.
he's never had a bar without a name drop. Just like Jay, my Blueprint 3. Like, I mean, come on, everybody. Like you, like you, like you drop more names in anything like
He
that.
gonna stand on it. Like I say, he gonna stand on it. He gonna say your fucking name. He's not doing no subliminals. He's putting damn near gonna put your government name in the fucking diss record. So watch out.
And then 50 is the hook master. I mean, because then you say, when you cross me, I'm so disrespectful. So disrespectful. See, I get so disrespectful. Like, that is the simplest fuck. Like, what you just said earlier, like, I want a hook that I can listen to repeatedly. I'm so disrespectful. We lost Allie.
Uh-oh.
My bad. Sorry, my alarm went off.
Yeah, I'm like, I heard an alarm go off and
I was
he
like,
disappeared.
Like, you disappeared. You went off.
She
I was like,
disappeared. She disappeared faster than when 50 disappeared when Game just throw 300 bars.
I was gonna say which one started first. Which one was first? Who dropped? 300.
I you
three
know
hundred
that's a
This
good
was a
question.
response. I'm so disrespectful was a response.
Yeah,
Okay. Gotcha.
and then there was also another like 300. There was like another diss song that he came out with that was like 300 bars and not or something like some shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it's really funny because like Game or 50 was like impersonating Game. And the thing about 50 that like I look back on that I forget about is that 50 is just funny.
He's a fucking
Oh
clown.
He
yeah.
is hilarious.
Like for
Hilarious.
real. He's gonna go online and he's just gonna show his ass. He does not give a damn. So
At all.
honestly, those like I did not even realize until Marcus went through the bars of I'm so disrespectful. Like, yeah, this motherfucker is disrespectful, but he's kind of fucking funny when he does it. Like it's kind of hard. Like if I were the person who was getting dissed, my feelings are incredibly hurt. But I'm also like, damn, that nigga took the pen and snapped on me.
You know how I knew 50 was funny when Window Shopper came out? Just listen to Window Shopper now. Just like today.
That song.
And just listen to the words. And you just like, yo, this nigga 50 is hilarious. Because
So
all he does is just stunt on people. But he does it in the most like sophisticated way that like makes you feel like you're a part of it. But it's like, nah, nigga, I'm still sitting on you.
yeah, so this is how I know. This is what made me know that 50 Cent's petty was on certain level. So this not even a rap diss. Or has nothing to do with bars. He said they was. I'm a car person. I love cars. So he was like, yeah, the new Ferrari. We just gonna call it the Ferrari Phantom J4, whatever the fuck. It was only like 20 of these motherfuckers made, right? He said I was in a party in Dubai. And the Sheik was like, oh, yes. No, or London. Sheik was like, oh, yes, I have this car. And he was like, oh. So he was like, yeah. So when 50 said it, I thought he was making fun of the Me Too movement. Because he said, that's my Me Too car. And I was like, what the fuck is 50 talking about? That like
so
this is, and I'm like, this is so disrespectful on women. Like he's just calling this is Me Too because Me Too was a real big thing.
Yeah, it's
like,
a real
yeah.
And so then somebody, one of them little feminist reporters came up to him, was like, 50, what do you mean that this is your Me Too card? Women are suffering. He was like, nah, that's not what I'm talking about. Like he flipped it and he said, so I was at a party and people talking about, hey, do you have that new Ferrari? And then like I don't have myself and I can't insert myself in the conversation. I say, yeah, me too. He said, I've never even driven the car. I just got it so I could say me too. If that's not petty to the utmost level,
yo, 50 is the GOAT.
Goated.
That's fantastic. That is a fantastic story.
Goated.
Yes, and it definitely shows his level of petty. So
For
out of this
sure.
rap beef, oh for sure. But so out of this rap beef though, like lyrics and all of that, you know, who do you think won overall out of these records?
Well, you have to say 50. You can't say Game won.
Well, I would say here's the thing. I think Game lyrically won the rap battle. Just over because here's the thing that you got to think about. Game had like full mixtapes dedicated to dissing these niggas, and they were all fire. While 50 and them niggas did have mixtapes dissing Game back, they weren't hitting as nowhere near as hard as You Know What It Is Volume 3, the GU Not mixtapes, like all that shit. That shit was hitting way harder than the 50 This is to G Unit. At that time, that was when. Do you remember when Game came out with that DVD when he was basically like on 50 Cent's property?
Oh yeah, walking around and shit.
Yeah. So yeah, if you don't know about this, look it up. The GU Not DVD. Game literally snuck on 50 Cent's property. And was filming his house and all this type of shit. Yeah, like with like a miniature camcorder. It was crazy.
Wow.
Hey, this is crazy.
Wow.
Even just thinking about diss records right now. Understand that we were in a time of diss records where saying your government name was the diss. Yo,
Yeah,
Curtis.
like calling him Curtis was like the
Curtis!
ultimate.
So you
Like,
can hear
oh
Shane.
shit, this nigga's name is Curtis.
Like,
If you guys knew, that was Shane, our producer, laughing his ass off in the background. But you're right though, because I did not know who the fuck Curtis was until niggas started saying. I was like, who is that?
Well, no, it didn't become funny
Never
until
said his
Cameron
real
made it
name.
funny. Because
yeah,
Cameron used to be like Curtis in his in one of his diss songs,
yeah.
and that
That's
just
so
fucked
true.
Curtis
I
up
love
for
that. I
everybody
love
after
that
that.
level of petty. Yeah, just break the illusion for all their fans. Just call them by their government name. That'll fuck them up. So okay, so for
What's the
Marcus,
game's government?
Jayceon.
Oh yeah, it is Jayceon.
That's not as easy, I think, to throw in a rap. That's going to be a little bit harder. Got to come with the bars with that one. But Marcus, what do you think? So you're saying you think 51? You
I
think
think
Game
51.
1?
I think 51. I fuck with Game.
Okay.
Game has some lyric. Game. Like I said too, if I find out 300 bars was done in one take, I might come back and take that back.
Really?
But I think I'm like Game
For
is on.
lyrics
Game is on.
alone or just because of the artistry? Like, you're like, if he did that in one take, that's
So
crazy.
the artistry game doesn't take a hit in losing the 50. It's one of those
Okay.
you know it's a you can look good losing. You don't have to take an L. I don't think Game took an L in his loss to 50.
Not at
So
all.
I don't think that at any. I think it worked for him. But if I had to pick a winner, I'm gonna say 50 Cent.
Okay. And Eric, you were saying you think Game 1?
Yeah, I think Game 1 personally.
Okay. All right. Honestly, I think that you guys both did a really good job with your points. It makes it hard for me to decide, honestly. I think that I'm just leaving with you guys. I think it's a tie, personally. But I will say, I think overall, like nowadays, I think maybe people might say that 51 in the end because he got the Super Bowl, maybe? And like they completely left out the game. That was a bit crazy to me.
So
Anybody else felt like, damn, bro, like we're gonna do LA State, what was it? Was it the Ram Stadium?
it was
It was.
LA.
Here's my
In
thing
LA,
about that.
and you're gonna have all of Dre's people come out and everybody, but you're not gonna have 50. I mean, not 50. You're not gonna have Game come out. That's kind of crazy. What do you think?
Marcus, go ahead.
The show is only it has a you got to remember too they had Mary on stage as well, so it wasn't
That's
just
true.
all rap. It's Eminem. First of all, Dre is who they're honoring for the California. So let's go in order. Dre, Snoop, M. M has one choice to bring who he's bringing. Am I gonna bring 50 or am I gonna let Dre bring? They only get one extra because there's Mary and Kendrick still on this show. So I don't think it was more of Game being left out. I think it was just Game being left out because of time, and we can't honor everyone. Like I don't, because I saw the actual how they made the show. It was a great behind the scenes of what the work goes into it, even how they kept cutting the bars down to get everybody adequate time. They only had like what is it, a 21 minutes? It's the whole set has to be a certain amount of time, and to get and to fit all of the artists in what they did for the Super Bowl. I don't think you can add the game and still make the time. So I don't think the game was left off from we're snubbing you. I think it was left off as it's not a 30-minute set. We don't have enough time. Because Mary was like, well, I'm just now getting into my vocals on this part of the song, and I got to cut this short and get this. So, like, the actual rescoring of the Super Bowl and the artistic side of it, I don't think Game was left off. I don't think Game couldn't be included. So I don't.
Well, here's the other thing. It's not like Game was left off because it's not like they performed any Game solo tracks. Like, it's not like 50 performed How We Do on there. That would have been a slap in the face.
Right.
If they performed How
Okay,
We
so you don't
Do.
think the
Like, if
pettiness
50 would
ran
have
over?
did How We Do as like a mini chorus and then just went on to something else without
And
Game in
let's
there,
hold on.
that would have been a slap in the face.
Also,
Okay.
remember the game was dissing Eminem too.
Yeah, he
I think
was.
actually, you
Yeah,
know
he
what? I'm
was.
glad you mentioned that because I completely forgot all about that. I
So,
think that I think that might have also
hey,
been part of the reason why
yeah, had we had
he
a
might have
humble
been
game, and
not just 50 in his beef, but also
yeah,
and the history back then. Yeah, you're right. That's kind of crazy how this all came full circle then.
and
We
then that
started
would,
with M's rap beef, and now we're ending with Game and 50, and somehow
and
Game
Gang
was
would have
left off
easily
because
got
of
on, be
M.
like, I was at the Super Bowl with both of the niggas that I dissed. That would have you would have
And
started.
guess what the
Would've been already.
greatest thing about the 50 and Game beef is? We still to this day don't really know if they're cool.
True.
We've
And can
heard
I be the first
reports.
to say I don't really want it to end? Like I actually think it's pretty
Me
fucking
either.
entertaining. I think that they have some of their best work when they beef with each other. And I just feel like if there's anybody who's gonna get 50 Cent to like come out of like, music retirement for like his career, like it just seems that he's very much focused in on like movies and TV shows and like his production bag, and I totally get that. But I feel like the only person who could really probably get 50 pissed off enough to come out and make a new song would be Game. So I'm rooting for both of them, to be honest.
And here's the
Personally.
thing: let's say they are cool. Let's say they are cool behind the
And it's
scenes.
just a genius marketing ploy.
Fuck it, let's turn it into some WWE shit. Beef for the fake.
Who
Beef
knows?
for the
Yeah,
record
for real.
sales.
For
Fuck
real.
So,
it.
People do it
Let's
all
so,
the
go
time.
all out. Fuck it. Let's do it.
so it's like
Yeah, let's
50
get this
Cent and
back.
Mayweather.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Every time I
Game
feel
be
like
in the gym
Mayweather beats with
boxing.
somebody, I'm like,
They are both like super big and cut. Can you imagine if 50 and Game actually like agreed to like a fight?
man.
Oh,
I kind of wonder,
hey,
like, are they around the same
I can't
height?
call a winner.
Because they
I
seem
can't
like the
call a
same
winner.
stature, but who knows? Yeah, that would be wild as hell.
Because they're both about the same age and they're both kind of built the same. They both work
Right?
out. 50
hey,
is known for beating niggas' asses and Game is known for beating niggas' asses. So it's a wobbler.
So only reason that I would pick 50 Cent in a real fight like that over the Game is 50 has done 50s in movies, We know this. With movies come production training of actual professionals.
Okay.
So just imagine if Jonathan Majors was 50 Cent in Creed 3. He really learned how to box though. You know what I'm saying? So if 50 wanted to learn how to box to beat the Game, I think he could get better training than the Game beating 50 Cent. Like I don't know.
But part of me just feels like the way that the Game is built and just like coming from the hood himself and just being one of them like real LA ass niggas. I really just don't. I don't even without training. I feel like Game is not going down without a fight. I don't know. It's just something about like I feel like I really believe the street in him, and I really believe he is not leaving without blood. Like he does not seem like the type. Either way, though, it's just for us to speculate. Who knows? Hopefully, yeah, maybe one of these days they'll get in the WWE ring, like Eric was saying, like Snoop be doing every once in a while. Snoop could be the the judge or something.
I mean, shoot, Bad Bunny just got in the ring last weekend, so who knows?
He sure did. Who would have thought that? So who knows? But as far as coming for the bar, I guess we're gonna leave it up to you guys at home. To be honest, we already heard from both sides, both co-hosts here, that in general they're an iconic rap beef, and that no matter what, whether you win or you lose, definitely everybody was entertained and want to see more of it. So I hope that you guys really like this episode on rap beefs. Be sure to see us every Monday, and we will see you guys on the next. Oh, and really quick, remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and then we'll see you on the next one. This is Bar Exam. Bye, guys.